Thank you for joining me today. Feel free to turn on your favorite yoga music. We're going to stretch and work up to splits today, but of course you don't ever have to go into full splits. There'll be options. And grab any props that you'd like. Blocks would be great today. I'm not going to demonstrate with them, but feel free to use blocks. I'll try to remember to remind you when to use blocks, and I'm not using them because I forgot them. So after you get everything set, feel free to press pause while you do that, and then meet me back on the mat, finding your seated upright position. And just find length through the spine. Then as always, as you practice tonight, make sure you honor your body and what's going on with you. So if you have any injuries or just anything going on that you need to back off or maybe even go deeper into poses, you be the judge. I'm still not doing chaturangas, so you can hold plank for me or with me, or you could do chaturanga. I'm not even going to demonstrate. Now, begin to settle in, finding your upright posture. Just allow the body to relax. Allow stress and worry, whatever you're holding on to, just allow it to drift away. Give yourself permission to let go. Tune in to your breath, softening your jaw. Maybe softening the eyes or closing them all together. And palms can rest down for grounding, or palms rest up. If you need a little inspiration, a little connection to the divine. Deepen your breath, perhaps finding Ujjayi breath. Begin to lengthen the spine just a bit more as you root down through the sit bones, allowing the legs to relax and the arms to release and the shoulders to melt down the back. Focusing on breath as well as focusing on non-attachment. Notice thoughts, notice feelings, notice sounds, notice sensations. Just practice letting them go after you notice. Perhaps the breath deepens a bit more, finding a fuller inhalation and a more complete, slow exhalation. Taking just a few more moments here. And on your next inhalation, begin to slowly blink open the eyes, move and shift. Stretch out the legs, rotate the ankles, move around a bit, and then come back to Sukhasana, cross-legged position, with your left leg as the front leg. Settling back down into the sit bones. Again, finding length through the spine. Tune into your breath. And as you inhale, arms float up. Exhale to find your compassionate edge, forward fold. Pausing here, lengthen through the spine as you root down through the sit bones. Root down through sit bones a bit more, grounding down, rise, unhinge as you inhale. Clear the sky, resting hands wide back behind, lift up through the heart. Imagine you're moving that spine up and over a big ball that's totally supporting you all the way to the back of the head. Deep, full breath. Inhaling up past the collarbones, hold that breath at the top. And as you exhale, coming out of the posture, to bring your front leg halfway out so you have a 90-degree bend and flex your ankle. Keep your right leg tucked in. Inhale, arms float up, lengthen, extend out, forward, fold, hands touch down, finding your compassionate edge here. Really be mindful to keep your ankle flexed, to keep the bones in line with your joints and not to overstretch through the ankle. Walk your hands over to the left side. Twist and fold. Lengthen in the body out past that knee as you root down into the right sit bone. As you inhale, arms float up, twist back to center or turn back to center. Extend the left leg straight down the mat. Root down into that heel and hinge forward. Hands touch down, maybe the foot, shin, or just there on the floor or mat. The heart, the crown of the head, extending forward out past the toes. I like to keep my ankle flexed, really focusing the stretch through the back of the leg. And walk the hands in. Intertwine your fingers back behind your back. Squeeze shoulder blades. Root down into that left heel as you lift up through the crown of the head. Maybe straightening the arms to the back. Maybe lifting the knuckles. Or maybe just working on squeezing the shoulder blades together and broadening through the collarbones. Let's take one more breath. Inhale. And exhale, release. Take the left leg out to the side, adjust right leg as needed. Root back down into the sit bones, arms float up. Hinge forward, finding compassionate fold. Now come to a place where the forearms can touch down, or at least the forearms bend. So maybe you drag the hands back and then maybe your left, or so that's the right, your right forearm will touch down here on the right leg. Right hand floats up to the ceiling, root into the left heel, root into the right sit bone, and lengthen and reach all the way through the fingers as you root down into left hand, left forearm. Lower the raised hand, switch sides, extending through the left side, rooting down through the left side. Connect with your breath. One more breath. As you exhale, lower the raised arm. Float the arms up, unhinge. Turn to the right knee. And then side bend to the left side. Be mindful of what the neck is doing. Did you release and let the head flop? See if you can bring the neck back into alignment, finding length from sit bone, from hip, through fingers, through crown of the head, side body, rib cage. As you inhale, both arms float up and clear the sky. Exhale, excellent. Recross. Actually, let's stretch out the right leg for a moment. Rotate, wiggle, move, sitting up tall. And now recross with your right leg in front. Settling back down into the sit bones, finding length through the spine, back, the neck and head. Tune into your breath again. Tune into this present moment. Perhaps noticing sounds and sensations and thoughts and feelings, but that's it. You just notice and let them drift by, being the silent observer to what's going on in and around you. Finding a deeper breath, more expansive, longer exhalations. Now on this next inhale, arms rise, meeting in Anjali Mudra. Pausing here and taking a moment, if you'd like, to set an intention for your practice. It's a positive, present tense statement, or maybe a mantra that you always go to. And maybe this is something specific to yoga this evening or whenever you're practicing, in the morning, whenever. Or maybe bringing back something you've been working on. I am connected. I feel love. I am love. Whatever it is, breathe in your positive and present tense statement. And with each breath you take, knowing that it is true. On this next inhalation, arms rise, reach and extend through the sides of the body. As you exhale, hinge forward to find your compassionate fold. Finding length all the way through the crown of the head as you softly send your shoulder blades down the back. Broaden through the collarbone and root down into the sit bones. Breathe. Perhaps your Ujjayi breath, in through the nose and out through the nose. Perhaps not. You decide. As you root down through the sit bones, you unhinge, lifting and extending toward the ceiling. Clear the sky on your exhalation. Squeeze shoulders, lift up through heart. Lift up and over the big beach ball or exercise ball. Finding total support. So you're not releasing the head so that the back of the neck is contracting and you're stretching just through the front. You want to stretch through front, back, and sides. Long neck. Deep, full breath. Inhale up past the collarbones, pausing. Now as you exhale, coming out of the posture. Take your front leg, flex that foot, take it halfway out so you have about a 90-degree bend in your right leg. Arms float up, inhale, hinging forward to find compassionate fold. Same posture here as we were before, just have a different leg position. So I guess not exact same posture, but similar posture. Now walk the hands to the right, twist and fold, following the angle of your right knee. Staying gently rooted into the left sit bone. rise, arms float up, come back to center. Extend your right leg straight down the mat. Forward fold on an exhalation. Pausing here. Length through the spine, crown of the head. Energy moving out through heart center versus energy moving down through heart center. Want to extend through the spine, through the back. Connect again with your breath. Unhinge, float the arms up. Inhale. Clear the sky to intertwine the fingers back behind. Root down into right heel. Lifting up through crown of the head, long neck. Lots of space in between the ears and the tops of the shoulders. Taking one more breath here. Deep, full inhalation. And as you exhale, release and open up right leg. Adjust left leg, root down through the sit bones, root down through the right heel, arms float up. Forward fold as you exhale, staying evenly rooted through the sit bones. Now forearms touch down, maybe on the mat, maybe one forearm only on that left leg. And left hand floats up, stacking the hand directly above the shoulder, staying rooted into both sit bones. Make sure you're not sinking down. You want to press the body away from the mat, away from the leg. And lower the raised arm, root down now through left side, and right arm floats up. Being mindful of neck and head placement. On an exhalation, lower that raised arm down. Now walk over to, no, don't do that. That's not what we did. Arms float up. Inhale. Thanks for playing along. Turn toward left leg. Side bend toward right leg, the extended leg. Being mindful of head and neck. Finding length through the left side of the body. Also lifting versus sinking down. You want to lift, you want the energy moving upward and outward. And you can hold on to your leg or have the hand in front. Just find a comfortable position, or you hold on to the toes, whatever feels right to you. One more breath. And as you inhale, both arms rise. And as you exhale, clear the sky. Good. Take both legs out wide. Rooting down into the heels, arms float up. Now not going into your full wide leg forward fold. You'll go about halfway. So inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hinge forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hinge forward. I'm going to turn, but you keep doing that. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hinge. Now inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hinge. Inhale. On this exhale, pause at your compassionate edge. Now note, you have that neutral spine. Arch through the back. That will help keep your spine in a more neutral position as you hold here. Root down through the heels. On your next inhale, rise. Good. Clear the sky and bring feet together, knees apart. Find a position that feels good to you. Maybe the heels are out a little wider. Maybe they're tucked in. And seated cow and cat position, moving with your breath. If you'd like to sync breath, it's an inhale as you come forward and exhale as you round back. And see if you can round all the way down into the tailbone. One more breath. Inhale forward, exhale back. And as you inhale, stack the spine and bring the knees up. Make sure you have plenty of room back behind. Lower down onto the back. Now the goal here in these ab exercises is to go slow and articulate the spine bone by bone as you rise. So often you can just get rocking and you're not really paying attention to what your body's doing. You're using momentum. Everything is super slow and controlled. So plant the feet down. If you're near a sofa, you can put your feet underneath the sofa. That also helps. Hands can be back behind the head. I'm going to use mine not right back behind the head, but above the head, and then I'll lift. So you decide what you'd like to do. Draw the belly up and in. It'll be an inhale. Exhale, begin to slowly rise, articulating each bone. Stack the spine. Inhale. Exhale, slowly go down, bone by bone. Make sure shoulder blades don't touch before that mid-low back area. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale, rise. Lengthen, inhale. Exhale, lower. Inhale. Exhale, rise. Nice and slow. Stack the spine. Inhale. Exhale, lower. Rise, always rising on an exhale and lowering down on an exhale. Taking a break anytime. Let's do 2 more. Last one. Bring your hands so that they're in line with the sides of your body, or your arms rather. Set your shoulder blades back behind the back, and feet start hips width apart and closer into the tush. Lift, just hinging at the hips, coming into a bridge pose, not too high. Use your shoulder blades as support and use your feet as support. Starting with the left leg, left foot's going to walk out first, and we'll walk out 3, 2, 1. Hold. Keep the hips lifted. Press down into the feet. Zip up the core. Find a focal point. Left foot moves in first, and you can step in just 1 big step or 3 steps or 2 steps, and finding your original position. Make sure the hips haven't sunk down. And right foot starts first. Walk out 3, 2, 1. Keep the hips lifted. Root back down into your shoulder blades. Neutral neck. And right foot moves in first. Find your neutral starting position. Left side, walk out 3 steps, 3 steps, 3 steps, 3 steps. Walk back in 3 steps. Start with the right foot, walk out 3, 2, 1. Walk back in 3, 2. Left side, left, left, left. Come back in, left, left, right. Here we go, right. Last one. And right walks back in. Pause here, lift the hips, lift the heels, open up shoulder blades, articulate the spine down, bone by bone, and heels touch down. Tuck your legs into the chest, rock roll, move around, whatever feels good for a moment. And if it's in your practice to roll up and down the spine, begin to do that. If not, just begin to work your way into tabletop position. Maybe you do this once, maybe you do it 4 or 5 times. And now I'm going to move into tabletop position. Squaring off the hips and shoulders. You know the drill. Your wrists are underneath your shoulders, knees are underneath your hips. Move through cow and cat as it feels good to your body. Maybe you'd like to press down into the feet, stretching. So you want to curl those toes under. Maybe you'd like to shift and stretch into the side body a little bit more. Haven't done a lot of that this evening or whenever you're practicing. Make sure have a nice fluid breath. Don't want to be holding the breath right now. Deep breaths. On your next inhalation, come to neutral position. We're going to start with the right leg, so I'm going to turn around. Now extend your right leg out to the side. I like to have my left foot curled, and I'm stretching also into the ankle here, but you don't have to. If you want your foot more at an angle versus squared off to the front of the room that you're looking at, go right ahead. So take the hips to the heel and come forward. And then hips to heel, forward, hips to heel. Let's do that one more time. Good. Pause here. Square off through the shoulders and hips. See if you can now lift your right leg. Lift, bend, tuck in. And moving to the left side. Take your left leg out to the side, directly out from your hip. Curl your right foot, hip to heel. And forward. Hip to heel. Forward, hip to heel. And I think one more, sometimes I lose count. Forward. Lifting left leg, tuck the knee and bring it down. Roll through cow and cat a few times here. Pausing in neutral position. Right leg extends straight to the back. Heel in line with hip. Tuck the knee in, round into cat. Extend back out. 2 more times. Tuck, extend, tuck, extend. Lower down. Switch sides. Start with that left leg lifted, hip, heel alignment. Tuck, exhale, extend. Exhale, extend, exhale, extend. Lower down. Adding on full spinal balance if you'd like. You can always stay both hands rooted to the mat. Extend and tuck, extend and tuck, extend, tuck. Let's do 3 more. Last one. Extend, hold, lower down. Switch sides. Remember, always options, both hands on the mat. Extend, tuck, extend, 3, 2, 1. Extend and hold. Lower down. Turn your fingers so they face right and left. Shift your weight from side to side, keeping pressure equally on both hands. Last sway, side to side. Pause neutral, turn those fingers forward. Right leg, one time only. Spinal balance, left arm extends out. tuck, step through, lowering the hand down. First finding 90 and 90, kind of anyway. Root down through your back shin, tuck tailbone, rise. Excellent. I know you're doing excellent. One more breath. Inhale, exhale, lower down. Now, notice the difference from that, then scoot your front foot forward. This is where we're going to be most of the evening. So now back leg is at an angle versus 90 degrees. It's at, well, both of those are angles, aren't they? It's at a wider angle. Tuck tailbone here, root down through shin, root through front foot, and press. Lengthen, breathe, root down, release down. Come into high lunge and step into downward facing dog. Let's do a down dog check. So feet are hips width apart. You're lifting up through the sit bones, lengthening the backs of your legs. You're folded into a V versus a U, so you don't want to have a lot of pressure here on your shoulders. You want the hips to go up and the spine to be long, all the way to the fingers. Spread your fingers wide, pressing into the finger pads, the knuckles, the heel of the hand, softening the center of the palms. See if you can press into the thumb side of the hand just a bit more. Send your arm bones toward the shoulders, lengthen through your collarbones, and relax the neck. One more breath. And exhale, lowering down to the knees. Bring your hands back underneath shoulders. Left spinal balance, extend out, tuck, and step through, lowering the hand down. Find 90 and 90 degree angles. Root down through back shin, tuck tailbone, rise. So you're just noticing the difference. Lower down and slide your front foot forward. Shift your weight forward so the hips are moving forward and down. Still rooting through your back shin. Root through front foot, arms float up. One more breath, inhale, and exhale, lower down. High lunge, downward facing dog. So I'm not going to go through all the proper alignment. Take a moment, feel your body, what's going on. You need to adjust anything. And if you'd like to do a chaturanga or knees down, chest down from here, I do advise knees down, chest down. We haven't done a lot of heart openers. Or you can follow along with me and just make your way down onto the mat. One time, goalpost arms, peel the body up off the mat. Lower back down. Make your way back up and come into tabletop. Adding on. Right leg extends back. Spinal balance. Tuck. Step through. Stepping through a little wider, so find that back thigh at an angle and shift forward and back. Forward and back. Forward and back. Last time, pausing here in lunge. Curl back foot, extend through back leg. Letting the hips lower just a bit. Straighten front leg. And now shift back and forth between the two. So this is a good time to use blocks if you'd like. Or it can be on finger pads like I am, or even knuckles, or maybe flat palms. Let's do one more. And pause here. Float back, downward facing dog. Follow along with me, or knees down, chest down, or chaturanga. So I'm going to come forward, lower down onto the knees, somehow lower down onto the belly. Goalpost arms, relax the hips, peel the body up and off the mat. Lower back down, lifting and meeting back in tabletop position. Left leg, right arm, extend spinal balance and tuck. Step through, lower hand down. Find that deeper or wider lunge and shift your weight forward and back, forward and back. Last time, pause in your lunge. High runner's lunge, lift your back knee, extend your back leg and let the hips sink just a bit. Long spine, pyramid pose, lunge, pyramid pose, lunge. Finding a comfortable place for your hands or raising up the floor. Last time, and pause in lunge. Float back, downward facing dog. You know the drill. Knees down, chest down, or follow along with me. I'm going to make my way to the knees, down onto the heart, goalpost arms, coming up into back bend, lower back down, meet in tabletop. Taking out full spinal balance, right leg extends back, tuck, step through, stepping above or further than where your right thumb is. Shift your weight forward. Shift your weight back, flex your front ankle. Keep the hips lifted. There'll be a tendency to want to sink back. Here's where you want 90-degree bend in that back leg. And then the heart extends forward. Low lunge. High runner's lunge. Lengthen all the way from heel, crown of the head, lower the hips. Pyramid pose. Now your back heel can root down, but doesn't have to. I like to keep mine up. Make sure that your hips are square. You want to have a rolled hip, so square off that left hip. Adding on here, walk the hands around to find wide leg forward fold. Bring the feet so they point straight ahead. Pause, lengthening through the backs of the legs. Begin to lower. I guess that's not a pause, but we'll be pausing here for a moment. Lower into wide leg forward fold. Let the neck, or let the head rather, draw the neck long. Flat back inhale. Right hand underneath, somewhere between chin and chest. Left hand rises. Stack hand over hand, hand over shoulder, shoulder over shoulder, and shoulder over hand. Release down. Walk back to your right leg, shifting into high runner's lunge. Downward facing dog. Wave into plank pose for either knees down, chest down, or chaturanga. Or maybe now you'd like to hold plank. A little more activity in the core, or you can lower to the knees, somehow lower down onto the mat. Find a back bend here, a little more relaxed, working on stretch. And we'll all meet in tabletop. From now on, I'm going to be holding plank, just an FYI. Leg only, left leg extends back. Tuck, step through, stepping above the left thumb. Shift your weight forward. Lift up through the heart. Press into your back shin. Shift your weight back. Flex front ankle. Keep back leg at a 90-degree position. Find length through the spine. Coming into low lunge. From low lunge, high runner's lunge. Lengthen. Let the hips sink just a bit. Tune into your breath. And we'll meet in pyramid pose. Keep your hips square. So again, you can be using blocks right now to raise up your floor. Finding wide leg forward fold, walk the hands around, adjust the feet so they now point forward. Pausing here, lifting up through sit bones, lengthening back through the legs as you release down to find wide leg forward fold. Letting the head draw the neck long. Maybe the forearms rest on the mat. Maybe you have peace fingers holding the big toes, or just the hands down. Rise into flat back. Left hand underneath chin chest area, right hand rises. Twisting at your rib cage. Nope, what is the head doing? I know you can't see my head, but keep it in line with the spine. Don't let the head droop down. As you exhale, lower down and walk to the left foot, adjusting the feet to find high runner's lunge. Downward facing dog. You can hold down dog, you can wave into plank, holding plank, or moving into knees down, chest down, or chaturanga, or just getting that back bend. So somehow making your way to the mat, coming into a back bend, and then we'll all meet in tabletop position. Right leg only extends back, tuck, step through. Lunge forward and down, begin to lift the heart, lift the arms, tuck your tailbone, maybe a bit of a back bend, focusing on stretching here through the left hip flexors. As you exhale, lower down, coming into half split, or to Hanumanasana. Keep your back hind end lifted versus sinking down. Energy moving forward past your toes. Find your breath. High runner's lunge. Shift your hands forward. Lengthen through the spine. Let the hips sink just a bit to get that extra hip flexor stretch. Pyramid pose. Lift the hips. Fold forward. Square off the hips. And walk the hands center. Wide leg forward, fold. Flat back. Right hand underneath chin, chest, left hand lifts. Let the hips shift here. Should feel a bit of a stretch in your right inner thigh. We're going to take that a bit deeper in a moment. Inhale, and as you exhale, lower down. Bring the heels in so now the toes are at the diagonals. Walk the hands over to the left, bend left knee, and the left knee is tracking with the toes, meaning it's in line with the direction the toes are going. Focusing on that stretch here in the inner thigh on the right side. In a moment, there'll be an option to go deeper, but right now keep the hips lifted, find flat back. Come back to center, walk the hands around right side, high runner's lunge. Float back, down dog. Find flow, find plank, find a stretch. Being mindful, moving with breath, with strength. And we'll meet in tabletop. Left leg extends back, tuck, step through, find lunge. Tuck tailbone, root down through the shin and foot, rise. Add a bit of a back bend if you'd like. Focusing on the right hip flexors. Lower down. Half split. Lift up through sit bone. Length through the spine. Focusing on the back of the left leg. High runner's lunge. Lengthen and a bit of a sink. But find strength and length from crown of the head to heel. Pyramid pose. Square off hips, zip up the core. Wide leg forward fold. Start with the toes pointing the same way you would be looking. Well, no, that makes no sense, but you know what I mean. Forward. Hinging forward, finding that forward fold as deep as you'd like. flat back. Left hand moves underneath chin, chest. Right hand lifts. Stretch into the left inner thigh. So you want the hips to shift. Twist at the ribs, not the shoulder. Lower down. Heels, heels come in, toes turn out. Walk over to the right side, bending the right knee. Focus inner thigh stretch, left side, flat back. Notice, did you let the head tuck in? Long neck. Neutral neck is probably a better word. And come back to center or walk around to the left. High runner's lunge to downward facing dog. You can hold down dog, you can flow, you can hold plank. You decide. And we will meet in tabletop. Right side, extend, tuck, step through. Root down, tuck, float the arms up. Add a little bit of a back bend. Lower down. Half split. Shift your weight forward, low lunge to high lunge. Let the hips sink a bit. Pyramid pose. Wide leg forward fold. Flat back. Right hand moves underneath chin, chest. The left hand lifts. Shift the hips. Lower down. Bring the heels in, turn the toes out. Walk the hands over to the left. So option here, stay right here with flat back. Next option is to sink the hips down, lowering the hips and lifting your toes. So now you're on your heel. Make sure you're not sinking and rounding through the spine. Lengthen. You can also lift a hand or lift a hand. You decide. And begin to rise. Coming back to center and walking over to that right foot. High runner's lunge. Downward facing dog. And find flow, or down dog, or rest, or a drink, or plank. Now meet in tabletop. Left side, extend. Tuck, step through. Press into foot and shin, tuck, tailbone, rise. Add a bit of a back bend. Lower down, half split. Shift forward. Low lunge to high runner's lunge. Let the hips sink as you lengthen the body. Pyramid pose. Wide leg forward fold. Flat back. Left hand moves underneath chin, chest. Right hand lifts, stretching into that left inner thigh. Then release down. Heels come in, toes out. Walk over to the right side. Stretch into the left leg. So you have option here, keep it flat back, or lower the hips, lift the heart, rotate the toes up. You can lift an arm. You can switch. And we'll make our way back up and over to left side. High runner's lunge to downward facing dog. Flow, hold. You know the drill. Child's pose. Take a moment here. Excellent flow. Now we're going to do a little bit more focus stretching rather, for splits. And as you inhale, begin to rise. So it's a good time to grab your blocks, have them nearby. I will pretend. Coming into tabletop, let's start there. Tabletop, right leg extends back. We've been here before. Tuck, step through, step up further than your thumb. Shift your weight forward and down. So you want the hips moving forward and down. Shift back. Flex your front foot. So here's where you can hold on to blocks and just use them as your support as you shift forward. Now you're going to scooch your foot forward. Move a little deeper into this lunge. And shift back. And shift forward. Scoot your foot forward. And remember your compassionate edge. You do not have to go into the splits. Just an option tonight. Or whenever you're practicing. I forget. And back. So on this next round, perhaps you're ready to find splits. And in that case, as you shift forward, maybe your back knee shifts back this time. Just find your compassionate edge here. So maybe it's down in the splits. Maybe you'd like to do some fancy things, forward fold or grab your back foot. I don't know that I'm ready to try that. Release the hands. Taking a few more breaths wherever you're at. And slowly coming out of your posture. And we'll meet 90 degrees. So we've been here before today. So find the 90-degree bend to the knees. Root down through shin and foot, arms rise. Inhale. Twist to the left side, so away from your front knee. Practice and balance. Extend through the arms. Bring your front arm up and over as you go into a sort of an exalted warrior position. Cartwheel down and all the way to the other side. Now, my shoulder doesn't want to do that. So I'm going to do shark fin, but you can extend your back arm straight out. Front arm lifts up and over. Back arm will hang down. And cartwheel down, come back to center. And lift into downward facing dog. Pause here. Lower to tabletop. Make sure you're in your nice squared off tabletop. Left leg extends back. Tuck, step through, step up further than your left hand. Shift your hips forward and down. Press into your back shin. Half split. Flex your front foot. Find your breath. Relax the jaw, relax the shoulders. So focusing on stretching back, so hamstrings and hip flexors. Shift forward, scoot your foot forward. Find a deeper lunge. Root down into your back shin. Split. Try not to let the hips sink. Keep the hips propelling forward. I think of an ejection seat here that's pushing you forward. And scoot your foot up, coming into lunge. So you're working on right hip flexor stretch. Tuck tailbone, lengthen through the spine. Half split. Remember, you always have options to use blocks as your support. Raise up your floors, your hands don't have to, or your arms don't have to reach so much. And next time around, working your way into the splits if you'd like, or just finding your front foot out a little bit further than last time. And you can do that same shift back, shift forward, or shift all the way forward or back to find the splits. This might be the tighter side for you, definitely is for me. Not sure what's tighter, my hamstring or my hip flexors, but I think they both are very tight today, relatively speaking, to what I normally am. Okay, play around, fold forward, grab your back foot, you decide. We'll stay here for just another breath or two. And slowly shifting out of the pose, meeting in 90 and 90. So take a moment to find the correct position, knee ankle stack, knee hip stack. As you find that position, root down into shin and foot, arms rise. Starting by opening up to the right side, twist. Front hand comes up and over. Cartwheel all the way around to the other side. Excellent. At least I'm doing excellent. I hope you're doing excellent. My shoulder let me do it that time. And up and over. Just a little bit of a back bend. Cartwheel down center. Step back. Downward facing dog. Coming into child's pose or embryo pose, or a combo of the two. I think I've said this before, but I like that. So I have wide legs, big toes together, and I use my legs to support my shoulders, my biceps. And just take a moment. Reconnect with your breath. And begin to rise. Now feel free to shift around and come down onto your back. If there's any final poses you'd like to do, take a few moments in a pose, maybe some more twisting, or Shavasana. I'm going to close practice, and then you can have Shavasana for 1 minute or 30 minutes. You decide. And feel free to just listen and not participate as you sink down into Shavasana. And if you'd like, we'll unite our breath with a deep inhale, arms float up, bringing the palms to Anjali Mudra. Or if you're in Shavasana, maybe a hand on the heart, a hand on the belly. Thank you so much for practicing and joining me today. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your kindness. Have a fantastic rest of your week. Namaste. And if you are participating in Shavasana, begin to sink down, noticing those points that touch down on a surface, melting and relaxing into those points. Softening the jaw, finding that quiet space in your mind, or at least the non-attached space, and enjoy, melt down, and release, and let